Welcome to our spine and midline flow class today. We're going to start seated. So if you have a blanket that you can sit on top of, that would be great. That helps you to elevate your hips up off the ground, help you to stay nice and long in your spine. And if you want to play music in the background, I have playlists here. For those of you that are live, we have it in the chat. So you can see the playlists in the chat. And I have Spotify or Apple on here. So if there's any other music that you like and that you want to play in the background, feel free to do that as well. Okay, so you have your playlist queued up. You can start playing it for yourself. And now go sit down. Okay, so we're gonna come seated. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit with your legs out long, you can sit, even kneeling is fine. Although I will say for this first part, you might wanna be cross-legged because we're gonna be doing some things with our hips while we're sitting here. So start to settle into your seat, make yourself nice and tall in your seat, roll those shoulders back and down, and let's just take a few moments to settle in to your space. Notice your surroundings, notice the sounds that you hear. Notice the temperature of the room and how it feels on your skin. Notice the floor beneath you and how you are being held and supported. And start to bring your awareness now to your breath. Not changing it quite yet, just notice it. And now see if you can start deepening your breath, sending the breath all the way to the belly. Maybe you put one hand on your belly, the other one on your heart, and just notice the in-breath and the out-breath and how your body presses into your hands as you inhale and how it falls away from your hands as you exhale. See if you can make each one deeper than the last. And do one last round here. And then let your hands fall down by the sides. Inhale, take yourself to a nice long seat with your arms coming up the sides, up to the sky, following your hands with your gaze. And then exhale, make your arms nice and wide, taking a nice long stretch from side to side. Let's do this again. Inhale, reach up to the sky. And exhale, let your arms go down by the sides, reaching them away from each other. Okay, now for this first part, we're gonna take your leg and we're going to cradle it like a baby. And so only go as far as you can go. You don't have to go very high with this. You can come down a little lower if you want and just rest it on your hand. And then once you're here, just gently rock that leg side to side. And if you're able to, maybe you take your fingers and you interlock them inside each of your toes of this foot, really opening up the toes, opening up the foot as you rock your hip from side to side. And then see if you can take some ankle circles. You can guide it with your hand that's interlocked in your toes. We use our feet a lot and we don't really pay that much attention to them. So let's pay attention to our feet today and our ankles. And then a few more rocks of that hip as you lower it gently back down, releasing your fingers from your toes. Let the leg come out long, bounce it out. Give yourself some, I call these love taps on the top of your thigh and into your hip. And then we'll take the other leg. You can leave the opposite leg out long or you can cross it. And then the top, you'll take the opposite leg, whichever one you have not given some love and attention to yet. And then you can put your fingers between the toes and rock that hip from side to side. And then if you want to take your ankle circles, you can take those ankle circles, go one way, and then switch directions. Notice if you're gripping anywhere, like in your face, in your jaw or anything, and see if you can release that. I know right now I am. I don't know why. I'm like concentrated. So just continue to breathe as you give your hips, your ankles, your feet some love and attention this morning. And then lower that leg back down. Awesome. From here, we're going to take a few more nice long seats. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Look at the hands. Exhale, reach those arms back behind you. Interlock your fingers. Inhale, open through your chest. And as you exhale, release those hands and imagine that you're hugging a big beach ball in front of you. So tuck the chin of the chest, really round through the spine. Inhale, reach back up to the sky. Exhale, reach back behind you, interlock your fingers, open through your chest. And as you exhale, hug this big imaginary beach ball with your chin tucked, rounding through the spine. And make yourself nice and tall in your seat. Shake it out, shake those shoulders. You can roll them. And then we're going to make our way to a tabletop on the floor. So you can move your blanket off to the side. If you want to create additional support, you can use your blanket as support under your knees, or you can just set it off to the side. Once you are in this tabletop position, make sure that your hands are right underneath your shoulders and that your feet are under, or your knees are underneath your hips. Your toes are untucked and you're pressing into the tops of the feet. Your fingers are wide, creating this star with your hands, and you're pressing into all 5 fingers of each hand like you're creating a suction cup, pressing your way yourself away from the floor. So you're spreading those shoulder blades wide. And then from here, we'll take cat and cow. So drop the belly button towards the floor as you gaze forward. And as you exhale, bring the chin to the chest and round through the spine, cat pose. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round through the spine. 1 more time. Inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, round through the spine. Come back to neutral tabletop. And let's start to work on our midline. So we're going to work on the strength and activation of the midline by first raising the right arm up and pointing the fingers towards the wall in front of you. Keep your gaze neutral. So I don't want your chin tucking into your chest. I don't want you looking up high. I really want a neutral spine in your neck. And then lower that right hand back down. Let's take this left hand in front of us. Really notice how the weight shifts in the body. See if you can keep your body neutral. And 1 more breath. Lower the left hand back down. Right leg lifts now. Keep the toes pointed down to the floor. So flexing the foot and making sure the toes are pointing down, activating through the midline, the glute. You're going to feel your butt squeeze it and the hamstrings as well. And lower that back down. And then we'll do the same with the left. Lifting the left leg, toes pointed down. Actively keep the shoulders away from one another here. So you're pressing away from the floor at the same time that you're squeezing the glutes, hamstrings, and activating the entire midline. And then lower that back down. Shake your hips from side to side. Take a moment of reprieve in a little child's pose. So the knees are to the width of the mat. The big toes are touching. The arms are long as your forehead comes down to the mat. Big deep breath in. And sigh it out. Interlock your fingers while you're in this child's pose. And then you can take a few wrist circles here. You can bend the elbows so you come into the sensation in the triceps, the back of the arms. And then make your way back to that tabletop position. Okay, so what we just did with the spinal balance, we're gonna put it all together. So remember your strong foundation. Your fingers are wide. You're pressing into the ground, so you're opening up through the shoulder blades. Your knees are underneath the hips. Now raise the right arm and left leg at the same time. Keep the glutes, so your butt is clenched here. You're really using that muscle. And you're activating your midline, your core, your abs. Everything there is holding. You're going to feel a little bit of a shake. And then you'll lower both back down with control. Let's do the same on the other side now. So lifting the left arm, right leg. The toes are pointed down. Activating all of the muscles here. Feel the heat starting to build. And then lower that back down. One more time on each side. Right arm, left leg. Lower it back down. Left arm, right leg. Left arm, right leg, yeah. And lower back down. Awesome, shake it out. One more time in a quick child's pose. Big deep breath in and out. And then let's make our way to a downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, creating an upside down V, and start lifting each heel one at a time, calling this walking the dog. So we're shifting our hips from side to side, we're lifting each heel. And then find stillness in downward facing dog, sending the chest through the arms towards the thighs, sending the heels down as far as they go. You can keep the knees generously bent here for this first one. Our hamstrings are still kind of waking up. And then very slowly look up between the hands and walk your feet towards the front of the mat with intention and mindfulness, just moving slowly here. Once you get to the top of the mat, grab opposite elbow with opposite hand, sway from side to side, nod your head yes, shake your head no. Feeling that decompression of the spine. Keep those knees as bent as possible. Continue to breathe, listening to your own breath. And then release your hands down. They might hang, they might touch a couple blocks. Blocks help us raise the floor up towards you. So you can use yoga blocks for this, or you can reach to the floor. And once you're here, you're going to rise up one vertebrae at a time all the way to standing, Tadasana, mountain pose. Once you get there, roll the shoulders 3 times one direction and 3 times the other direction. And then let the arms fall down by the sides. Shake it out. Take a look at your feet. Make sure they're right underneath your hips. Widen your toes as much as you can. And then press into all of the corners of the feet. And so that's the big toe mound underneath your toe. That's going to be underneath your pinky toe and underneath your heel. So you're pressing all of that into the ground to give yourself stability. Have a little micro bend in the knees. Make yourself nice and tall, pointing the crown of your head. Like imagine you have a string at the top of your head, pulling your body up, and breathe. And then think about, what do you want out of this practice today? Maybe you just want to stretch. Maybe you want to feel good in your body. Maybe you want to, whatever it is, I don't know, bring it to mind. And then take one more deep breath in and out. All right, my friends, inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, gaze up to your hands. On your exhale, take a twist over to the right as you open your arms to a T, a little spinal twist here. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky as you follow your hands with your gaze back to the center. And now we'll take this twist over to the opposite side, opening the arms to a T. Let's do this again. This time we're going to take a little bend. So inhale, bring your arms to the center. Exhale, come into that side bend, or that side twist, and then your right arm will drape behind you as the left arm comes up overhead. So it's a twist with a bend. Inhale, come back to your arms to a T, and then bring the arms back to the center, reaching up to the sky. As you exhale, take that twist to the other side with the arms at a T. Now your right hand or left hand comes back behind you, your right hand comes up overhead, taking a bend. Inhale, come back to the T arms, and then back to the center as you reach both arms to the sky. Let's do that same thing a little bit faster. Exhale to the opposite side, tilt back. Inhale, reach back up to the sky. Exhale, take that twist to the other side. Inhale to come back to center. As you exhale, let's bring our arms to a T and hinge at the hips. So sending the hips back, keep those knees bent. You're going to dive down into a forward fold. Your hands come to blocks or to the floor. As you inhale, create space for your belly by making your spine nice and long, neutral spine. And exhale back down to a forward fold. Plant your hands, step back to a downward facing dog. From here, your right leg will lift, and then you'll bend at the knee, and you'll start to take some ankle circles here. Maybe even a few hip circles, 3 times one way, 3 times the other. Really have that head through the shoulders, so you're creating that window with your arms. You're pressing your chest towards the thigh as your leg is bent. And then lift that leg back up to a 3-legged dog. The hips are square to the floor, and return the foot back down to meet the opposite one. Let's do the same on the other side. Left leg lifts. Open up through the hip, bend the knee. Take those ankle circles. Take those hip circles. Continue to breathe here, creating remember those suction cup with your hands. You have a strong foundation through the fingers, through the palm. As you work through the ankles and the hips, extend that left leg again and come back to a downward facing dog. Walk your dog, sending those hips from side to side. And then we're going to come down to our knees and create a knee plank. So shift your weight forward so your shoulders come up over the hands. You're creating a nice long spine from the tip of your head down to your knees. You should look like a little slide. And then from here, elbows stay close to the body as you lower yourself with control in this negative push-up. Whew. Once you're on the belly, you can make your legs a little bit wider if you want to support your low back. So it's up to you how wide you want those legs. And then from here, without using your hands, just gently lift the sternum and the top of your chest up off the ground. So coming into little back bend. And then lower back down, forehead to the mat. This time using your hands, very gently press into the mat and take it a little deeper into your back bend. And then exhale, come back down. And one more time, see if you can make this one your biggest back bend yet, without any strain or pain, and then lower back down. Then we're going to come back to that tabletop position, pressing yourself to tabletop, and then tuck the toes back to downward facing dog, sending those hips from side to side. Look up between the hands. Make your way to the top of the mat by walking or hopping your feet to the top. Once you're there, let yourself hang here. Inhale, make yourself into that nice long spine, creating space, half lift. Exhale, back to that forward fold. And then one vertebrae at a time, stack yourself up all the way to standing, reaching the arms up to the sky. And exhale, bring your hands either to your heart or down by the sides. One more deep breath. Exhale fully. All right, let's do this flow one more time. So inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, open up to the side of the room, taking that twist, and then back bend, reaching the left arm up overhead, right hand drapes. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, take that twist to the opposite side, taking that back bend. Inhale, lifting to a T, then back to center. Exhale, dive forward. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift, gazing past your mat. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, open up through the hip, taking those ankle circles, hip circles. And then lower that leg back down. Inhale, left leg lifts. Bend at the knee. Take those hip circles, ankle circles if you want. Lower back down. Shift yourself. This time, if you want to take the high plank, you can. So you'll shift your shoulders up over the hands, coming up high on those tippy toes. And then you can lower yourself. Or if you want to get on your knees, go ahead and take a knee push up, negative push up all the way to the belly. Widen those legs. Inhale, take that back bend, called a cobra. Gazing forward, opening up through the front of the body. And as you exhale, tuck the toes, make your way back to a downward facing dog. And then we'll make our way to a tabletop. Shake it out and back to a child's pose. Widen the knees, big toes touch, send the hips back towards the heels, extend the arms long on the ground as your forehead comes down to the floor. Walk your hands over to the right, taking a side bend in your child's pose. Imagine that you're pressing the right hand away from you as the left hand pulls in towards your body, really lengthening through that left side of the body. And then walk your hands over to the opposite side. This time you're going to imagine that you're pressing the left hand away from you and pulling the right hand towards you. And then come back to the center, come back to a tabletop, swing your legs out in front, and we're going to lower ourselves to our backs. So this time we're going to come into a little roly-poly. So hug the knees into the chest, and you're going to roll back to your back, and you're going to roll forward, and you're going to keep rolling until you're done rolling, and then you're flat on your back, just making each roll a little smaller. And then once you're here, we're going to send the right leg up towards the ceiling, left leg goes out long, and then cross that right leg over the left, only as far as it goes. Now, if you happen to have anything that can extend your reach, which I should have asked you to do this before you laid back, you can put it around the bottom of the foot or around the ankle, and you can actually have that right leg supported by a strap. You can also take a block and put the block underneath that right leg. So if you want that leg to come a little lower, you can actually shift the hips over towards the right and take a little bit more of a twist. But if you want to feel it more in the leg, you're actually going to keep yourself right in the middle of your mat and let the leg just be where it is, or use your strap to support you. We'll hold this for a couple more minutes. I'm going to use my strap for this one. Keep your opposite arm flat on the ground. That shoulder blade is down on the ground. Gaze up at the ceiling. Or if you want to take a little bit more of a twist, you can look over to the right hand. And then guide that leg back to the center. So you can use your hands to guide it there. And then this time, let that right leg fall out to the side. You can use your opposite hand as a stand for the leg. You can use a strap. You can put blocks underneath the foot. All different ways to support that leg. And then once you find the variation that works best in your body, just keep your gaze up at the ceiling or look over towards the left hand. And then gently return your gaze to the ceiling if it's not already there. Bend that leg, guide it back to the center. And if you're using straps or anything, go ahead and remove them. Bend your knees into the chest, roll them from side to side, shake it out. And now we'll do the same with the opposite leg. So now right leg goes out long, left leg points to the ceiling. Arms go out to a T. Start to send that left leg across the midline of the body, feeling the lengthening through the back of the leg, the hip, even the low back might feel it here. Use the straps or blocks if you want support for this one. And you can gaze over towards the left hand if you want, or up towards the ceiling. And on your next breath, guide that leg back to the center. You can use your hands to guide it. And then let the leg fall over towards the opposite side. Again, you can use your hand as a stand. You can put the foot on a block. You can use a strap to wrap it around the foot and hold it open. Opposite arm stays out wide, gazing either up at the ceiling or over towards the right hand. On your next breath, start to guide that leg back to the center. And now is our time to take a moment of rest before we head off into the rest of our day. So if you have anything else that you'd like to do, if your body's like, oh, I need to stretch in this way or that, feel free to do that for a few moments. And then meet me here in Shavasana with ourselves on our backs, arms down by the sides, taking up as much space as you desire, closing the eyes. If you want to turn off your music, feel free to, or you can just leave it playing. And find your deep belly breath as you invite in relaxation to the body. And then start to invite in a deep belly breath as you wiggle the fingers and the toes. Extending the arms up overhead as you take a nice long stretch from the fingertips down to the toes. Take a big sigh. And then make your way to your favorite side, hugging your knees into the chest, resting your head on your arm. Taking a moment of gratitude for this morning, for giving yourself this time to work on you, your body, your mind. and inviting in relaxation and energy for the day ahead. Use your hands to gently guide yourself to a seat. Once you're here, inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And give yourself a big smile for this day. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this day. The light in me loves and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.